Hey everybody, I got a question for you. Do you have fewer friends since you've retired? And do you like it that way? Is it a good thing for you? Well, here's my story. Over the course of my working life, most of my friends were related to work. But then after I retired, many of those relationships petered out simply because the workplace environment was the only thing that we shared in common. It was the glue that held us together. After I retired, I lost contact with many of those people, most of them in fact. And you know what? I like it. I'm enjoying this new experience in my life. I like not being surrounded by scores of people on a daily basis, many of whom were merely acquaintances, not to mention the more difficult relationships such as posers, users, and pretenders. Instead, I now enjoy the company of a few close friends. And I also enjoy making new friends on my terms, that is, outside of work. I enjoy making new friends more organically, if you will, and it's working for me. But that doesn't tell the whole story about me, which is this. As I was getting close to retirement, I really began to crave the idea of having more alone time, that is, time for myself. After decades of being surrounded by people who exhausted me, I just wanted to be alone. In fact, left alone. And I think that this is something that happens to many of us as we grow older. I think it's a shared experience among older adults. We eventually reach the place where we want more quiet time, less noise, less social obligations, and less complications. And any friends that we do have, we prefer them to be closer friends rather than all of those surface level relationships that are so common. Now myself, I'm the kind of person who enjoys quiet time. I enjoy reading, being out in nature, and I enjoy solitary walks. And now that I'm retired, I can enjoy all of those things without any interruptions or receiving an unexpected phone call from work messing up my day. And you know what? It's just pure bliss. It really is. And by the way, if you're seeing me for the first time, my name is Ronnie, and this channel, A Resilient Life, is dedicated to helping those who are over 50 years old, especially in areas of health, finance, and retirement. If you think that you'll like the content here, be sure to hit that thumbs up button and feel free to subscribe. I'd love to have you join our community on this channel. So today we're talking about the impact of having fewer friends in retirement. And here's a few points that I'd like to offer for your consideration. Number one, there is a difference between solitude and being lonely. Now, solitude has its benefits. Solitude is when you can be alone and have time to think, meditate, get in touch with yourself, and rejuvenate. It's called having time for yourself. But loneliness, on the other hand, is a lot different. Loneliness is when you're isolated and you feel rejected and forgotten. And there's risk factors associated with loneliness that can lead to health issues as well as depression. Now myself, I enjoy solitude, don't you? I enjoy having time for myself. I'm comfortable in my own skin, and I enjoy being in my own company. And now that I'm retired, here's what a typical week looks like for me. Most days are filled with, number one, reading and learning new things for personal growth. Number two, working out in my home gym for health and fitness. Number three, focusing on healthy nutrition because I enjoy cooking. And number four, spending time in my garden, as well as a number of other recreational outdoor activities such as hiking, fishing, going to the beach, so forth and so on. Now, most of these things I can do as solo activities, which I often do. But I also enjoy doing many of these things with my wife, who is also retired, and I feel very fortunate in that regard that we share many of the same interests and we do them together. But beyond that, I'm perfectly content keeping my social contacts limited and measured. I get out once or twice a week and go to the grocery store, run errands in town. Usually whenever I'm out in town, I'll bump into somebody that I know. I'll stop and chat, catch up, and then move on with my day. My wife and I will eat out for lunch about one day out of the week. And we almost always will bump into somebody at the restaurant that we know. And then of course we'll chat, be friendly, catch up, and then we move on with our day. Plus we attend church on Sundays, which means that puts me in a large room full of people. And that pretty much fills up my cup for social interactions. It's all that I need, and it is more than enough. Now, I've said all of that to say this. If you're the kind of person who enjoys being alone, if you enjoy solitude, or even if you are an introvert, there's nothing wrong with you. You're actually quite normal, especially if you have retired. You've put in your time, you've paid your dues, this is a new chapter of your life, and you deserve to live in peace, and it's quite normal to want to experience that. It's not that you're antisocial or that you've lost interest in life. Instead, you finally found that true contentment that you've been searching for, because now you're focusing upon your inner self more than anyone or anything else. So again, there's a big difference between solitude and then being lonely. Number two, let's talk about pets. Pets can fill a very big void in retirement. I'm talking about having a dog or a cat or some other animal that you love. Pets offer us companionship. And the best part of the companionship of a pet is that you don't have to concern yourself with that aimless chit-chat or small talk that you have to do with people. Pets also have a positive effect upon your health. They can lower your anxiety and blood pressure. Pets don't cause drama or conflict. Having a dog or a cat that you love will give you more joy and more happiness than a truckload of people who are merely acquaintances to you. I have a little Jack Russell Terrier. Her name is Bella. She's my constant companion, always there, always following me around, and always nearby. When I go out to my garden or go out to my little blueberry orchard, she follows me there. When I go to my workout in my home gym, yep, you guessed it, she's right there with me. When my wife and I have coffee on the front porch in the morning, she's right there with us, chasing squirrels out in the front yard or either just curled up at our feet. Pets are good for your health. They offer unconditional love and they give you emotional support. In fact, I'm just going to say it. I love my Bella, my pet dog, more than I love some people that I know. If you've ever owned a pet, you know what I mean whenever I say pets really do become a member of the family. So remember, pets can really fill a big void in your retirement if you have one. And then number three, fewer people means less drama. You may have heard that old saying before, more people equals more problems, and in many ways, that's true. Work, for instance, is filled with drama. Workplace relationships are filled with drama. There's always somebody in the workplace environment who is stirring up the pot, getting people upset. Then you have office politics, competition, and conflict. And you might even have family members or relatives who create constant drama all of the time. And who needs that? Do you? I know I don't. So when you retire one day and then wake up and realize that your social circle has just gotten a lot smaller, it can also mean that you're going to have a lot less drama and a lot more peace. And that's a good thing. Now that I'm retired, I pay my bills, go to the grocery store, and sometimes my dog and I will just take a ride together in my pickup truck. I relax in my easy chair, take afternoon naps whenever I want to, and I just strum on my guitar to my heart's content. And what's not to like about that? Life is simpler for me, and a lot less complicated. And the people and friends that I do have in my life are the ones of my choosing, unlike it was before I retired. Audrey Hepburn, an actress of many decades ago, is quoted as once saying, "I don't want to be alone. I just want to be left alone." And when it comes to having friends, having 4 quarters is better than having 100 pennies. Well, that's all for now. Of course, these are just my own thoughts and opinions based upon my own life experiences and my personal preferences. And I'd like to know what your thoughts are, so drop me a comment down below. And if you like this video, be sure to hit that thumbs up button and feel free to subscribe. Again, I'd love to have you join the community on this channel. Take care, and we'll see you next time.